Hi, I'm Chef Lou, and today I'm going to show you how to zest, professionally peel, and segment an orange. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to zest the orange and what the zest actually is. The zest of an orange or any other citrus fruit is the brightly colored, either orange, yellow, or green exterior of the fruit. The zest contains a lot of flavor because it has the essential oils that bring the flavor into your aroma sensors. And they also provide a nice color addition in a small way if you're using it in an uncooked dish. So underneath the zest of the orange, where you can't see it at the moment, is the white pith. And we don't want to use that white pith in our food because it has a bitter flavor. So the best known way to zest an orange is to use a grater of some kind. This is a microplane grater. And the way you want to use the microplane grater is to put it at an angle on your cutting board, take your orange, and just very, very gently stroke down on the grater to remove just the outer portion. You can see that a lot of it is going to stick underneath the grater, and we can just scrape that off. And reserve it to make our dish, whatever our dish is going to be. If you were here and present with me, you would smell the wonderful aroma of grated orange zest. Another way that you can zest an orange, and I particularly like this way, is to use, especially for cooking, is to use a swivel peeler. I'm going to take the swivel peeler and I'm going to saw on the orange just enough to remove, as you can see, only the colored part and not the white pith below. Now in some dishes, we're going to use these like we would use a bay leaf. Dropping it into the dish, letting it simmer for a long period of time, and then removing it. So I'll save some of these for that purpose. But if you need grated zest, you can also use minced zest by first cutting very, very, very fine julienne from your zest, and then cross-cutting it into very, very small pieces, and then finally mincing it. To me, this produces less waste, and it's faster. So there we have minced orange zest. The next step then is to peel the orange. Now you don't want to peel the orange for fine cooking the same way that you would peel the orange just to eat it. Because in fine dining cooking, we want to make sure that our orange is completely peeled of all the pith and membrane. So the step to do that, for this I'm going to use a boning knife, nice and sharp with some flexibility to it. So the two ends of the orange, right there and right there, that's actually the stem end and the blossom end. And we're going to cut enough of those off so that we can actually see a good amount of orange. And right there, we haven't cut enough. Like so. Okay, so there we can see on both ends. So now we're going to cut starting at the top of the orange, and we're going to cut beneath. Oh, by the way, that's the zest and that's the white pith right there. So we're going to start cutting, and we're going to curve down like so, following the contour of the orange. This is the same method you would use if you were going to peel a kohlrabi or another kind of butternut squash, or even if you wanted to skin a whole cantaloupe, a whole watermelon. Okay, and I didn't go tight enough there, so I'm going to go back and correct. And don't worry, you can correct as you need to. The trick here is to get all of the pith off without wasting the flesh. So you can see there are a couple of places where I didn't cut completely through, and that's okay because you can go back and fix it. That's going to happen. Okay. So now we have a professionally peeled orange. The next step then is to make orange segments. So if you can see here, the segments of the orange are separated by membrane. So we're going to cut down along the right side of the membrane, and this is if I'm right-handed. You might want to do it the other way, opposite if you're left-handed. And if I cut down where I'm supposed to, almost, see how we have on the other side of that membrane? And all oranges are going to be a little different. So you just have to work with what you've got. So you can see it a little bit better. Cutting down through. Make sure that you're far enough on the other side of that membrane. And coming in. And sometimes you're going to get an orange that has kind of a wonky interior. And you just have to kind of go with it. Coming in on this side. And it just takes a little bit of patience. And practice. And if you do practice, you'll get good at it. If your orange is particularly juicy, you'll have a lot of juice on your cutting board. And if you're doing a lot of these, you might want to even slip your cutting board into a sheet tray so that you don't have juice running all over the place. And I'm down to just about my last one, right there. And then you can just go back over and correct anything I missed a little bit right there. I'm going to take that off. So, take that piece off too. And so what you have now are perfectly clean orange segments that are ready to use. Yep. Take a little one off of that one too. Perfectly clean orange segments that are ready to use as a garnish in a fruit salad or in any preparation where you might want a beautifully clean orange segment. So I hope you enjoyed this and learned something from it. Thank you for watching.